looked at this and we've changed policy, the executive has changed policy. I'm not sure that a task and finish group or working group, whatever we want to call it, is going to make a lot of difference. We will continue to get campaigners here, and I've got a lot of sympathy with the lady who's in front of us today and has made a good case for a road I don't know well, but I vaguely know it. But each of us in our wards will have issues with speeding traffic and with schools, etc. And this won't be the only one, though it may be one of the big ones. But I do think we're in a direction of travel, excuse the pun there, that is positive and people will see good outcomes from it. I'm convinced the officers are doing a lot of hard work on this, and I'm candidly not sure what a task and finish group would achieve.
But I find signs are very effective. You know, it reminds you that you're in the speed limit. Certainly, we had one introduced on the S65 at Ingleton, and when that sign lights up, cars brake. So, if we get a report back, do another meeting, that's the way forward, Chairman.
I think from the very fact that we've asked Alan for a lot of information to come back to us and to report back to the committee, just on that very fact that a working group would allow that discussion in more detail to happen in parallel and then not impact on our workflow. And as you know, our committee meetings are hours and hours and hours, which I don't mind at all. That's really important, but it does mean that other things get pushed off the agenda. So just in terms of workflow, a task and finish working group, in my mind, would be really beneficial. And I would broaden it to more active travel, because it was something I might have proposed after the next agenda item, just to look at the three that have been, the items that have been brought to us at this meeting, and then any others that arise from the information that our officers bring to us.
Regarding Councillor Hanson's suggestion about what this group would do, I think what it would do, it would prevent us having to spend all this time at one of these meetings going through this, because the reality is that if you look closely at the policy that Alan's put together, and I take on board everything he said about progress and moving towards a more environmentally and safer road network, the policy still doesn't address things like the DFT's hierarchy, for example, or putting pedestrians and cyclists at the top of that list. It's not transparent, and all I want to do is this task and finish group look at it and then go back to the office and say, we've looked at this, can you consider this? Unless we have another mechanism within this council to do that very well, and then I will withdraw my recommendation. But if this is the only platform we have to look in detail at the policy and work with officers who we're doing it from our own perspective as elected representatives, and we represent the community. The officers put what we want into place, but it's unfair to ask unreasonable requests of them. So what I'm suggesting is that we scrutinise it and we put reasonable requests to them.
So what you're suggesting, so that would then further review the policy that we've just adopted, is that right?
I think it's ongoing. The reality is that do we have to wait for more and more accidents before we say we're going to review the policy now? I'm just saying, as an elected representative, I'm prepared to get involved and lend support to do everything possible to make this policy in line with the current trend of the way people view roads. And your comment about you want to know whether people are going into the roads unsafely on Hookstone Road, and we need to stop people doing that. Well, there's another way of approaching it. Your ideal word was that, my ideal word was we know cars on that road. We have different objectives, but the same outcome is that it's going to be a better place for everybody to travel.
Just trying to understand it. I think that's the thing, because obviously, as you said, it's not many of us are familiar with this specific area.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
We're looking at this from a strategic point of view, not individually. I understand this.
I do appreciate it. I'm sorry if you're not making it clearer. I apologise to members if you don't understand what I'm talking about.
Right. So, sorry, Councillor, yes.
I just tried to reword something based on what this gentleman said.
I don't know, but at this moment in time, it's just, you basically wanted a task to finish. or a
Well,
working
I'm
group.
also now coming about, quite rightly so, just to ask for something for the sake of it, Chair, without giving a bit of a substance about what
Yeah,
it is
that's
rather,
appreciated.
which is what I've now done. If Councillor Hassan wants to add something to that, which will get more votes, I'm more than happy to listen.
So look, this would be my suggestion, just taking this point, and then it's done. It's a task and finish group to review the current set of policies and their impact in terms of making roads safer for all users, in particular people in active travel in a timely fashion. So in other words, effectively we're just seeing how good the impact of our policy. We're looking at the impact of the
You
policy.
mentioned active travel, that's item 6 really, isn't it?
But we don't have an
Appreciate it. I know it's not
active
exciting.
group for votes.
I know it's not in isolation, but
Yeah.
we're dealing with this particular item at this time.
Well,
You
just
may,
leave
come
it
back, you may come back on item 6 with that one, but at the moment, we're dealing with this one. So it's just, let's get the procedure right. It's done in right order. I'm giving you 2 bites of the cherry, so I complain.
Okay.
Right, so members, I think we'll go to the vote on this one. We've got a proposal and a seconder for a working group, William? Whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
To look at this particular issue, and so, William?
Yeah, all those in favour, please show. Support, against? Five. Six. Six, sorry. Abstaining?
I'm not chair, I'll see.
That's lost.
Impartially at this moment.
That's lost.
Communications to letters, is it our own, yeah?
So what recommendation do you have, please?
You don't have any?
We don't have a recommendation at this moment in time, other than consider the matter, any next step. Now I think, to be fair, as we've discussed this and debated it, we have actually fleshed out quite a bit of reassurance, should we say, that there is an ongoing process here. It is still, a question of how years working with the community and the local member. I think it would be interesting for us to get some sort of update further down the road from the highways officers as to how this is progressing. So we're not going to be, we will be keeping an eye on this. And as I say, obviously, if we put in questions and statements, you're perfectly tapped to come back to this committee.
Thank you.
But yeah, I think members would agree that that would be a suitable solution at this moment in time, given where we're at right now, to get further
Well,
updates.
obviously I put a recommendation in as follows. Does that mean I can't put another recommendation? I'm not going to, I just want to.
Well, I would put a recommendation.
That's what I'm teasing out, Chair.
Yeah, I would put a recommendation personally that we ask the officers to keep us updated on the progress of this scheme, and then we can sort of, if we do deem it necessary, we can review it, years later.
Obviously, with the officers are going to commit today to give responses to various questions, and obviously that will form part of what I think actually
Yeah.
suggesting.
So, members are happy with that, we've got any objections to that? Councillor?
I don't have any objection, but I just hope it's in its broader sense, because all of this is to do with, traffic safety of people and cars and the fact they don't mix and cyclists. So the update should include what's happening with the fixed cameras, all that encompasses it.
The
Yes.
item that we're dealing with is item 5, which is specifically about this, just to remember that. It does highlight other issues, quite right, but obviously at this point in time, the issue that's been brought to us is on this particular section of road. So that's what we're dealing with. Sorry, no, I'm just, yeah, is that okay? So I just,
Could we not think quite so silo and think about this as a
Oh, no, that's
broader
process,
issue
that's-
and change the recommendation?
yeah, but that's process, that's for another piece of work if we want to look at the broader spectrum. We're talking about the work programme later on anyway.
I think, just in terms of your suggestion, we could have a form, right?
Yeah, also, we've got a second there.
To bring it back,
Just to get a report back.
So
Just on the progress of this.
that will clarify.
So,
Okay, so we're going to vote on the proposal from the chair
yeah.
about further information coming back to this committee.
Yeah.
Can I ask before we do that, can we have a timeline on it? Not this time next year.
I think we need to be at the earliest convenience, if they sort of conclude things. I certainly don't spend, 2 years' time having this come back to us. That's okay.
Have I understood correctly, will it be an agenda item?
It will come up as an agenda item, so that'll be the idea. So, yeah. Sorry, councillor.
Yeah, Chairman, when that report comes back, can we have in that report, it's what Councillor Crane mentioned about the school time and some warning system.
Yeah, I think that's the only commitment for that, to come back from office. This is just tying it all up in a